And then we're going to talk about. I'm so stupid at this stuff. Go live. Post on timeline. I'm so bad at this. No, I don't want. What the fuck is this?
Oh yeah, I do see episode 11.
Go live.
You are live on YouTube.
Yeah. Why am I not live on Facebook? Oh,
That was me.
how do I not? Did I block the camera?
5 minutes. Oh, is it? Let's see. Is that what it's saying? Is blocked or something?
I think so. Allow camera access.
Yeah.
I probably broke your computer.
No. No, sir. Oh, privacy. Where are you? Which was a wave. Where are you?
I can also do it from this computer too.
Yeah, I will have to mess around with this camera. Did that work?
Did they take the trash can? Oh, they didn't.
Oh, here we go. Oh, come on. Really? Oh, wow. Because, yeah, the housekeepers are on vacation.
What if we got out of there and went back in?
Oh, wait, here we go. Allowed. Yeah, allowed. Come on. It's allowed. Everything's allowed. Why are you doing this? It's allowed. Come on. Can you try it from Chrome really fast?
Yeah. Like on my computer
Or let me see.
or in there. Yeah. I can do it.
Yeah. It was Facebook, right? Or were you trying
Yeah, we do. No, Facebook. I can't.
Facebook?
Figure out how to log in. Come up.
All right. 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
You have to.
This is probably it. I probably used the wrong one. Yeah.
It might be.
Oh, see, 100%.
Well, no, the browser kind of it's different. All right. 1 minute.
Heck yeah.
Just in time.
Just in time.
Let's get these American shoes rolling. Looking good. It's very weird double streaming.
I know. I really want to do on Instagram, but I can't figure it out.
We will get that next time.
Yeah.
Instagram's up. There we go. Mm-hmm. I always forget the headphones. I'm fine. Oh, man.
I looked at the playlist that I did last week to this week. It's very similar. Not a big fan of that.
You're not?
No.
Hey,
I
man.
think it's the same thing.
Quality is quality.
Can you see us yet?
Still good. We'll bring it down a little bit. Perfect. There we go.
Oh, no. What did I do?
No, you're still good. It's just the metrics of everything. My American shoes. American shoes.
I think I might have to do one of the
What's that?
like welcome to Duquesne things, like for the newspaper. Like I volunteered for it.
Yeah.
But do you know when that is? Do you know like when the next like Duquesne event is?
We do have, well, not Duquesne, but more veterans event. It's happening Saturday. Me and Chris will be handing out water.
Where at?
Right here. I get the water tomorrow for them, and then we'll be doing. They're supposed to be walking from Point Park to Oakland.
Who's there?
Whole bunch of veterans / students. I can get you the details. I can get you the details. I mean, it's just a text.
I would. I mean, if I could help, but I don't.
We're just handing out water, so I just have to get the water tomorrow. Then, however they do it, we will go from there. But it's literally just. I don't think it's gonna be a long event, but it'd be a nice little like something to write about. I can even do the legwork for you if you want. I can just give you what I get. Tell me how do you do whatever you do. For your like, I have no clue how to journalism.
Oh.
Because I was like, you don't even have to show up. You can just still like I can just take a few pictures and tell you what I got from it.
No, like no, I appreciate that.
Right, of course, man. I mean, I don't know how to properly journalism, but
no, but I kind of like it's the. But you know how like when I came and did my visit, like everybody had like a station,
yeah,
and you'd talk to each station. I think
so. Not as much like that. So more like I will get you those details. Actually, I'll get you the whole thing what it's supposed to be.
Are you talking about Saturday?
Yeah,
I won't be able to do Saturday.
That's fine.
I've got work, and then I've got Joe's got people coming in from out of town.
Oh, nice.
Get to hang out with a bunch of kids all day.
Ooh, nice.
All right, welcome back to what Jeff and I are calling episode 11, even though we're not sure what episode this is.
So episode 11 now. That's
Yeah,
all that matters.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the economy. We just make up numbers, right? It doesn't matter.
That's not how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. Hey, welcome back. I know we said we were going to be on Instagram this week. Unfortunately, I am so bad at Instagram. I am really just not very well versed in that. So we're gonna figure it out. Like I can get to my Instagram. I can't get to the other adulting with Zach and Jeff, which I still haven't changed the name to that. So we're on YouTube. If you want to follow, if you want to watch us there, or if you missed tonight and you want to tell your friends about the epic conversation Jeff and I had, you can share that on YouTube. I think we're up to about 7 or 8 views on there. So
nice.
To anybody that goes back and watches our previous episodes, nothing but excellence to you. I hope everything goes the way you want it to in life. Unless you're a Republican, then obviously I don't wish that to be the case. But I don't think you're going to be able to withstand for an entire hour of re-listening to me mostly rant. Hey, if you want to email us at adultingwithzandj@gmail.com. That is adulting, ADULTING, with Z and J. Today, hey, we're both back in studio tonight. It's been about 3 weeks, right? Episode 9.
Yeah, that's how counting works. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Feels good to be back.
Oh my gosh! Hopefully everybody's getting outside. I hope it's not cracking on the other side of the radio. I do not know what to do. This may be an email to Dawn. So I'm a little hesitant to email the people in charge of the radio because I don't want them saying like, "What are you doing in here?" Like, don't do this. So
I mean, that's how that works. They fix it just enough for someone else to break it, and then they wait for the wait for the squeaky oil.
Duquesne has this beautiful like live broadcast center where they put a lot of money, a lot of resources in.
Yes, they do.
And I mean, I'm going to try. I think once the semester starts, I'm going to try to get some time up there. The only issue with that, and I feel kind of guilty about it, is you have to have an engineer work with you, right? You can't be like this.
But apparently, I remember one of the meetings they talked about that they're open Fridays for anybody that wants to take the spot, and I think they have a engineer dedicated. Don't quote me on that, but I believe since they said, hey, Friday, anyone can come in here. I assume that they have somebody on standby.
Sure. Yeah.
So Friday might be a good time. I can actually inquire about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, but that's not going to come down until the semester, and then once we have guests and stuff like that. So, hey guys, if you're keeping track, if you are a student, it looks like we're almost to the halfway point of summer. We're hitting those dog days. Hopefully, everybody's enjoying themselves. Everybody's getting outside. Nobody's dying from heat stroke. Drinking enough water, surviving the inevitable recession. Hopefully, nobody's dying in the streets or getting shot 90 times. Hopefully that is not happening. Hey, tonight we're going to talk about a few things. I'm going to break it down for everybody. I don't know what order. I probably won't know what order until I go to break and figure it out, the kind of the flow. So tonight we're going to talk about what I would like, what I think is going to be the first of a two-part series, right? So it's going to be moving in. Right? Growing up and moving in. That's the name of it, right? Is that the name I wrote that? Growing up and moving in. So tonight we're going to talk about roommates. Who's a good roommate? Who's a bad roommate? What to do, what not to do, what to look for. I have plenty of experience being a horrible roommate. I'm sure the people that I have once lived with are just dying to hear, or just giggling at the horrible things I have put them through. And then hopefully next week we might get a landlord in here, somebody that rents, so you can see, kind of get that perspective, right? To see what they're looking for. Most of these credit apps are BS anyway. Just and what you should do, when you're renting for the first time, doing anything for the first time, terrifying, overwhelming. You don't know what to look for. So hopefully we can ease that. Maybe one or two sentences sticks in your head and you're thinking, I remember Zach and Jeff told me to do this, and it works out for you. Or you don't listen to us, and then you have a horrible living experience, and then you regret the day you did not heed our advice. So, whatever works. We're going to talk about. We're going to do a segment which I call the 3 most beautiful words in the American language, which we'll talk about. And if we have time to finish up, I'm going to do a little wrap on the police. I don't know if you read about this. I don't know. I think this happened the day before. I think it was July 3rd after we hung out. But a young man in my not my hometown, but close to my hometown. Got shot over 60 times. So definitely a lot of restraint there.
Yeah.
Probably would have lived if he was in school. So we'll if we have time, we'll talk about that. So let's kick things off, Jeff. Let me ask you.
Of course, what you got for me,
Jeff? What do you think the most, if I could the 3 most beautiful words? What are they to you?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Is it I love you?
I'd say cheese. Just love me some cheese. That it can go for money or melted cheese. Any type of food and probably a nap.
So your 3 most beautiful words are cheese, food, and nap?
Yes.
Excellent. No, there's no.
I think I might have the soul of a golden retriever, but you know what?
Excellent.
How about you? What are your 3?
Well, there's a lot to pick from, right? You
also
got
PS5.
I love you is a pretty popular one. 3 most beautiful words, right? You have you are acquitted. I've found to be very, very beautiful. All sorts of ones. The one I really want to focus on today, though, that I think I just find fascinating. And I think we should add it all. I think it should be added more into our lexicon. Is the I don't know, right? The admission of having information presented in front of you and not being able to complete it. To just, I don't know. I swear to gosh, a long time ago when I was doing the Tinder dating, I knew that. It was going to be a better match if the person on the other side would be able to admit, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And
I feel like that.
Feel like that gets lost. So I had this wonderful, I got to hang out. I got to see Jeff outside of here which was really nice. But I did I think it was July 4th, I believe it was. It was Sunday, one of the beautiful days for this long
not
weekend.
too nice or not too hot, but it was like a nice breeze out. The sun was out. It was beautiful out.
Absolutely. And I got to have a conversation with somebody who I'm going to try to get on the radio here. But more importantly, it's the second or third time it's probably the fourth time I talked to him. Friend of Jody's, just a very, very bright young man who's doing phenomenal work out in the community in terms of that. And, as he was speaking, I found myself in a scenario where I was thinking like, wow, this guy's really smart. What can I say that sounds smart too? Right. And I kept thinking that, and that's not who I want to be, right? I don't want to talk. I don't want to listen to hear his words end. I want to listen. So I caught myself in a moment where, we're like-minded in terms of our ideologies and stuff like that, our perspectives. But he definitely had a different view, a more what is probably a practical and realistic view. And I started to realize that I really am I'm not a big fan of like talking politics anymore, and I keep saying that this isn't, a political show, but somehow, last week, all I did was rant. Like all I did was doing that political and that rant. And for what's the point? So the kind of comparison that I'm trying that I've come up with is I'm a big NFL guy. Are you a football guy?
Yeah, of course.
So I remember some of the best times in my life have been with the NFL football, right? Going to games with my grandmother. My uncle took me to the Cleveland Browns Steelers game, even though the game was horrible. It ended in a tie. It was raining. He broke his knee. Like it was a miserable condition, but it was a wonderful time. And what I remember too is like California, right? Being stationed out in Camp Pendleton, there would be this bar. It was called Fenway's, right outside of Camp Pendleton, and we would go. And the beautiful thing about football in California is it starts at like 10 a.m. right? So you can go watch your morning games, get a nice little buzz going, and then you got your haircut. You're passed out on the beach by 2-3 o'clock. It's beautiful. And I'll never forget. This is one of those moments in my life. I think, and as corny and as boyish as it sounds, is one of the more favorable moments of my time in the military. It was probably 15, 20 of us. We all went to Fenway's. It was a Sunday afternoon, beautiful weather. California in like late mid-October, so it was just a perfect weather.
Just cozy.
And you have guys from all over the United States. So each one has a special, each one has interest, right? I had guys that were rooting for the Giants, one guy was rooting for the Jets. You had the Oakland fans. It's just all over Minnesota, Kansas City before Kansas City was good. And it was everybody was in their hometown. And we watched all the games all day. And it was just a magnificent time. And we really got to connect. And I'm going to be honest with you, if it wasn't for football, if it wasn't for the NFL, I don't know what I would talk to most of my friends about. Like I have a friend, Kelly, who I used to live with. Who could definitely give you a lot of insight of how horrible of a roommate I was. But if it wasn't for the NFL, I don't think me and my friend Kelly Clark would have like 8 sentences between us in 15 years of friendship. It's just that into it. So the reason I'm talking about that is because I think a lot of people can relate to this comparison. We'll say comparison. Talking politics recently has become like talking football with somebody, except that person, all they do is watch the Super Bowl. That's the only thing they watch. They don't know the teams. They don't know the players. They just watch the Super Bowl. And if they do listen to some stuff about the NFL, it's only Skip Bayless, who, if you're not familiar, is the Sean Hannity of sports announcing, of sports commentating. He's horrible. And so, you're when you have those types of conversations with somebody, that, the NFL is my hobby. It's my, it's my go-to. It's one of my, favorite things to watch on Sunday. And it's fantasy football. I'm so into it. I'm a nerd. I'm a weirdo. I'm way into that. And then you talk to somebody who, just watches the Super Bowl and has, the same 4 talking points you hear every single time. You can call offensive holding. The refs were against us. Those kind of things. You're not having a comfortable, not even debate. It's not even a conversation. And that's what this politics. It's just getting too much, or it's like that. I do have an example that I wanted to go with, and it drives me nuts. And every time I turn on my stupid Facebook, because I'm an old person now. Well, I'm in my early 30s. I have something just gets me wrong. It just gets me upset. So we can't have conversations because the information, the knowledge, the experience, they're just not shared. And it is driving us apart. And I would really like it to not be that way, but I just don't think it's going to be there. People don't care. People aren't going to read. They have their own lives. They've already set in their ways. It's just not going to change. So I want to give you a prime example of this. And what really just got my beaver going. Is that a thing? Beaver going?
I think I know what you mean.
So got my note.
Boom, come, you can make a t-shirt out of it now, man.
Well, the person posted this, right? And it had so many likes and shares. And then I do the thing where I see where it originally came from. And it's just, and it has even more bad. And there's just so many people are commenting and sitting and talking about it. So I'm just going to read it. All right. I'm going to want what your thought of it. And I know I kind of spoiled it a little bit by telling you it's baloney, but I still want to hear it. So here it goes. It goes, here's what was really happening on January 6th. And then colon. Gas was $1.93 per gallon. There was zero inflation. Supply chain was functioning well. Economy was strongest in 50 years. Border was controlled and secured. Taliban wasn't armed with U.S. artillery. Plenty of workers to fulfill labor needs. Stock market was at record highs. 401ks had record high values. Interest rates were at record lows. So I don't know this. Well, I know this person, but I'm thinking, what they're saying essentially is, January 6th wasn't a big deal because these things happen and these were great. So when I say that, does anything stand up to you? And I don't mean to lead you, which I feel like I'm doing, Jeff, but is there anything from that?
It just feels like, what's the thing with the horse blinds? So just kind of like, you're just kind of ignoring like a lot of problems there.
Sure.
Like the blinders that just lead them one way.
Right. Echo chambers, as I think, is the internet. Yeah, but blinders, that. Yeah. Well, and I see this kind of stuff, and the first thing that catches my eye, right, that really catches me, is the second point to this person is that there was zero inflation. So on January 6th, 2021, there was zero inflation, is what this person is inferring, or what they're wanting to be inferred into the world, which has reached probably now hundreds of thousands of people. Well, ladies and gentlemen, into the radio world, all 37 listeners tonight, zero inflation means your economy is about to tank. If we ever had zero inflation, our economy would topple. Zero inflation. I don't think people know what inflation is, what's required of it. Inflation is out of control. Inflation is one thing, but you want your inflation about a 1.5%, 2%. That's just how the economy works. And I would love to get into my economic theories with everybody, but I don't. If we think zero inflation is a good thing, I don't think we're ready for the economy talk. Also, so that's the first thing that got me. Zero inflation. First of all, that would be a horrible thing. Zero inflation is not a good thing. That means your economy's not moving, right? Second of all, that's not even true. On January 6th, 2021, inflation was at a 4%. That was the beginning of this raise of inflation, right? And that's not like one of those make up your feelings stuff. That's just a fact, right? Yeah. So not only are they saying that zero inflation, which would be horrible, so they have no understanding of how inflation works, but then they're going to lie and say that it was at a zero when it was really at a 4%, which was the beginning. That should set off alarm. Also, gas was not $1.93 at that time.
I can't think of a point in my life when it was.
And sure, and I'm sure it was, but at one point, but on January 6th, it was about 2.25, right? And I have the numbers here. I have the numbers here very close, but it was essentially 2.25 and 45, 50 cents difference or whatever. But why lie? Like, why make that up? The economy was the strongest in 50 years.
No.
That
No.
and that's the funny thing. And I used to have, I mean, he still is, but I had somebody who I really enjoyed right before when I was getting kind of understanding politics and kind of the way I wanted to go with it. And I asked that person, who definitely has an ideology background, right? I asked him during the Obama administration, hey, how do you rate an economy? Because I don't know. I have a guess now, but I asked him and he told me the deficit. He was dead set. It's the deficit, because during the Obama administration, the deficit was at one of the highest. But yes, that was true. So he said it's the deficit. Well, then once another administration came in and the deficit went up real high, I asked him straight up. I said, hey, he's not very good at the economy because the deficit just went up. And he said, no, it's unemployment. That's how you recognize a strong economy. So the goalposts keep moving. And again, that's my whole point of this conversation. We just have Super Bowl watchers. No. We don't have people that are watching the game, and listen, people's lives are busy. I totally understand that. I get that. But you don't have to act like you know who the players are. Yeah. You don't have to act like you know what a nickel and a dime defense is. You don't have to do that, but we do. It's tribalism, and it is absolutely insane.
I mean, no one wants to be the person that's wrong. No one wants to be the person that doesn't know something. No one wants to admit, I am not the subject matter expert on this, and that's fine. I'm not a doctor. I don't want to claim to be one. I'm nor a barber. There's a whole bunch of things that I can't do.
Is it because we don't trust each other? Is that what it is? We don't.
I don't know.
Are we angry? Are we so angry?
I wish I could know, because I think we all know that we don't have everything down to a T. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not the best cook. I mean, there's just things that we just don't know. You're allowed to learn. You're allowed to educate yourself, but you're not going to know everything, and that's fine.
Absolutely. And it drives me nuts. And that's not the end of this list. I could go on and point out, but I don't want to nitpick. But those are two big main ones right there. A couple main ones that's just not accurate. And so let me play it this way as well, right? Let's say that this meme, M-E-M-E, which is not named after the adoring nickname I give my grandmother, but what meme is what people with no sense of humor try to grasp humor for the first time use as their, I guess we'll say, currency. But let's say this meme, right? Let's say everything on here was true and everything was great. You still had a guy that tried to take over the U.S. election, who denied a U.S. election, who tried to destroy a democratic process. Are we okay with that?
Shouldn't be.
We just had July 4th. We're against tyrants. We love fireworks. We love guns. We love stuff. And we want a guy who's going to destroy all the things that the institutions that built up this country because the economy's okay or was good right then. At some point, that does not feel American to me. That doesn't. Anybody that tells you, hey, these elections, the democratic process is not good enough, they don't deserve the public office. And I'm not going to go too much more in there. I just wanted to say, and it is getting extremely tiring talking to Super Bowl watchers about the intricacies of an NFL game. It is nuts. So, guys, with that being said, I promise, Paul, unless something crazy comes up and the Supreme Court's out, it's going to be a while. It's going to ramp up. It's coming, and you're going to get a lot of false information. We're going to dig into our tribes that we've set because we base it on masculinity. That is coming, but it's not coming out. So we're gonna chill out on that. I'm gonna go back to our basics: being funny, helping students out, and making fun of myself while trying to make myself seem more attractive to eventual employers. So with that, we are going on a break. We are going to make up for last time because I played a horrible Wyclef Jean song. So this is going to be a little bit better. See you guys soon.
Oh,
and this is perfect because I can do.
Nice.
Oh no! Wait, wrong button.
And here I thought you were gonna play some Machine Gun Kelly for a second.
No, I tell you, he DM'd my sister.
No.
No.
Why?
My sister's
Fucking
beautiful. She's like no kidding, like model. And he got into her DMs because she was in Cleveland, and she actually made a TikTok. It had like 1 million and some views. He's an idiot.
Man, I saw the trailer. I was working out and saw like I heard the trailer. I'm like, who cares about your life? What? Well,
Wait, what?
Like he's got his own movie. Machine Gun Guy's got his own movie.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, why? Who asked for this? Like all I know is like they drink like him and is it Megan Fox?
That's who he's dating.
I think they drink each other's blood and I'm like,
I've
what
heard
are you
I've
weirdos?
seen rumblings of that.
So whatever his movie, I hope whatever. I don't care what he's got to say. Both of them. You should have seen. Did you look up the interview with her ass?
Who's it on? Like what's it on? Like who's interviewing him?
I don't know who it was, but I just remember like she just casually talks about drinking blood, his blood. I'm like, oh, it's not weird. It's just like somebody that just doesn't fully grasp how weird they are. If you want another parody, TMG and then Machine Gun Kelly, something will come up.
Megan Fox asked Machine Gun Kelly if he was breastfed as a baby when they started dating. I went deep right away. If some chick asked me if I breastfed, I don't know what I would do.
That's it. Like, I mean, the horoscope's like a red flag for me, but like, depending on how far you go with it, that determines how much we're gonna talk.
Okay, if you had to do one, like have them drink your blood, like a little bit, or ask if you were breastfed, which one would you do?
How hot are we talking? Like, we talking solid 10?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
traditionally beautiful.
Oh, that's a hard one. How much blood we talking?
A vial. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no, like a less than a shot.
How much I make this blood one work? You know what? I'll ask. You know what? I would tell her if I was breastfed or not.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, let's just get it out the way. It's a one answer. We're done. And I hope you have nothing interesting to follow up with that. I was really trying to make the blood one work. I'm just gonna not talk about that, man. You know, she's got to be like scary beautiful for me to be okay with her drinking blood, like a modern day god.
And we are back. Look at that transition. Oh no, nice. I forgot to do the other one. Oh no, stop. Oh, hand there's right there.
Oh, okay.
I think my volume's too high. I think we were too low. Now I think we're. What a good sound.
I know, right?
Come to Duquesne, where your $32,000 a semester is going to the wonderful radio equipment.
Of course.
Don't forget to donate on the day of giving. All right. That's going to be fun. Hey, guys. Okay, so we're on the next section of our radio program. So this is that time of year where students are either, they're getting out. They don't want to go back to the dorms, and I do not blame them. I've heard horror stories. Even living in the barracks. Did you live in the barracks?
Yeah, I lived there for a little bit.
Yeah, so
living there was a strong word.
Right.
I just slept from time to time there. I don't know what's still going. But yeah, no, I equate the barracks to it's the same thing.
Yeah.
If you've been in the barracks, you can live anywhere.
So the barracks, for those unfamiliar with the military, they're like mini jail cells. So for me, it was 2 to a room, but you had a shared bedroom or a bathroom, with another 2 guys, right? Yep. And there was not a lot of room, very uncomfortable. We got bed bugs a couple times. People are drunk.
Black mold. Whatever you could think of, it was there.
Yeah, there's a lawsuit right now, or there was a lawsuit about the water that was there. it's just not a great living condition. And I hate to compare it. Right, Duquesne's a beautiful campus. It's got some beautiful structures. But I think they cut corners on those dorms. It sounds like. I don't know. I haven't been to
I've not
one.
been in there either. But one of the people I took a class with said there was 3 in a room. I'm like, what? You're crazy.
Absolutely. So what do? You move out, right? Me, you, and me, you, and 3 buddies. We're gonna move to a house, and it sounds like freedom, right? This is my college was the first step of freedom. I'm out on my own. My parents aren't telling me I have a curfew, and now I'm gonna live in my own place.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of economy, definitely, especially living with, in school and stuff like that, you got to get a roommate, right?
Yep.
Sometimes you get 3, 4, 5, 6 roommates, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it is really hard to figure out who to room with, especially because it seems like such a wonderful idea, right? You're so excited. This is my boy. We play video games on the weekend.
It's going to be a nonstop party.
Yeah, we Snapchat each other, even though we're sitting right next to each other, kind of like, so now that fun is going to happen to nonstop. Well, as somebody who has been a horrible roommate to somebody. Oh no. Oh, Jeff, you have no idea. A horrible barracks roommate.
That doesn't count.
And I have lived with women who have been certified insane. And I don't want to say that. I shouldn't say that, even though she definitely was. And she's probably listening right now. And she's probably carving my name into some kind of voodoo doll and then striking it. And she's going to send me a very weird Snapchat, which I will ignore and I will not open until I accidentally open. Like when I'm playing with Snapchat, 3 weeks later, I accidentally open it. So I'll know, like, oh no, she got received. Like, no, I'm not engaging. Yeah, and I think those who know me know exactly who I'm talking about. So as somebody who's been through the 3 rounds, I just want to give some caution out there, right? So we're gonna give some. Now, Jeff, have you lived with somebody? Have you, outside of the Marine Corps, have you had roommates?
Yes, I have.
What was your experience like?
Whew.
You seem like a clean guy. Are you clean?
Yeah, I like to stay on like my side. I like to just I don't care what you do, just don't do anything crazy, don't steal my stuff. And a firm believer that you have to be nice to your roommate, no matter what it is.
Really?
There was actually a joke in the Marine Corps that, hey, you got to be nice to your roommate because if they decide to stab you in your sleep, there's nothing you can do about it.
So chemistry, that's the first point. Chemistry is very important, right?
I mean, you don't have to have chemistry, but just always be on speaking terms. Hey, how you doing? And hopefully, like, there's no animosity because eventually someone's got to clean up, someone's got to take the trash out, someone's got to do this, and eventually you don't want to be hostile or live with someone that's hostile to you.
Absolutely.
Then it's a literal just jail cell.
Absolutely. So that chemistry doesn't mean we're best friends. I think it is a horrible idea to move in with your good friends. And the reason I think that, because no matter how long you guys live together, after that first, second, maybe even 3rd month, there's going to be conflict. You are going to yell at each other. Someone's not going to do something.
Or just went clean. Because then also, like some people aren't the cleanliest of people.
That's this guy.
So how are you not cleanly? Like, give me something.
I have bath towels on my bedroom floor.
Your bedroom floor.
Yes. Okay.
Right. Oh, it's not on their floor.
Because I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. If I had other rooms, they would be another. Yeah, I live in a closet. That's why. They've been there for 3 months. They're almost to a point, I think, because I picked one up to pretend to do laundry a couple weeks ago, and like it's almost standing up. Right, it is almost standing up, and I am an adult kind of. And I'm in my early 30s. So.
I mean, as long as your socks aren't just standing up, that's all that matters.
I can't find socks. I wear 2. I have 2 different socks on that. The sock thing is totally out of my realm. So I think good friends should, because you're going to have that instance in that relationship.
I mean, but it doesn't have to though.
It always does. Well, maybe not always.
Yeah, because then there's some if they're understanding, like, hey, can you do this? And it's like, no, why am I doing this? Because don't want to air any dirty laundry out, but like watch somebody go through this with their friends and they wouldn't take out the trash, they wouldn't like do dishes, and pretty much they were a fan of like trying to keep it clean so there were no bugs or any unwanted furry friends would show up. And that was the goal, just to keep bugs out. And one of the friends would not take out the trash, no matter how full it was, even though it's a simple thing. But they would just put the trash on the floor. That was it.
And so, yeah, my to me to that is why strain a friendship? Why strain a best friend when there's plenty of people in this world you can move in? I do not think living with your best friend is a good idea. I lived with Kelly.
It should be good. It should be, but I mean, yeah, you're right.
When you're 18, 19, and you're just a walking hormone. You are the only reason you are that every ounce of your body is telling you to do, the things, the animalistic, the thing. You're just at 18, 19, your brain's not developed yet. Your cortex is still working good stuff out. You are literally a walking crazy hormone, both male, female, all genders. You're figuring it out. So when you have two best, things are going to clash. And if they're going to clash, which almost seems inevitable, I'd rather it clash. I think it's a better idea to clash with a neighbor or a guy you're okay
Some
with.
person you're not going to see again.
And a best friend. Let's not strain that relationship. I was again a horrible roommate, and I could have
I don't
ruined.
think you were, man.
Let me get Shannon and Mackenzie on the line. They can tell you for sure. One time we had a party. I moved in with two girls, 18. My dad said, "You're out of here. Get out of here," and which I did. And I moved to a place in Hartville, which is in Ohio, which is a big Amish town. And within the first couple months, I had gotten the police called on to us,
Ooh,
right?
Nice.
And they didn't and this is they're Amish people, so they finally get a call. They finally get to do something. And they bring all 3-4 cop cars because we were too loud, which we were, and too drinking. And it's a good thing we were late because we probably would have been shot. So, and that's a prelude to what's coming up. But yeah, no, and we had a party once, and I decided, and I'm 18, 19 years old, I decided to shave my entire body. Well, not my entire body, but I wanted to groom, per se.
Mm-hmm.
And she, one of my roommates, had a loofah, and the loofah fell, and it was just filled with my hair. My disgusting hair is on her loofah. Now, I could have washed it off, but washing's not really my thing. So what I did was I walked downstairs in my birthday suit. I took the loofah and I threw it at her. So again,
So were you a bad roommate or were you just a drunk?
Oh no, I was a little bit of A, a little bit of B, but no, they ended up poorly. I did horrible. I didn't pay. I left. I was just a huge wreck at 18, 19, leading up to that. So chemistry is really good. Know who you're with, right? Because it is really exciting to move in. And we were so excited to get our first place together. We were going to be on our own. And needless to say, those two poor girls had no idea what they were in for. I still have to apologize every time I see them. The fact that they still talk to me is amazing. Another good thing to think about too is somebody on your schedule, right? You want to get somebody on your schedule. Worst thing in the world, especially when you're young, you want to party. You got a bartender and a school student, right? So the bartender comes home at 3. They bring their work buddies. You got to get up in the morning. They want to sleep during the day. You're up and out and stuff like that. So a work schedule, I really feel, make it close. Keep it close. Yeah. And with that, you want to keep the same goals. But I think work schedule is super, super important to keep that cohesion, that niceness in the house.
I think those boundaries go with that too, making sure like, hey, I work in the morning, hopefully it's okay. Or even like setting like, hey, can we have this from quiet hours? I think that's the reason why apartment complexes have that, just because, you know what, some people like to sleep at this time. If you're up late too, yeah, that's fine, but just try to keep it to a minimum. And I think that also goes to like cleaning chores, like, hey, can you just take out the trash? Can you do the dishes? And I'll sweep or do something else.
Similar lifestyle, absolutely. And this is, as marijuana gets more legalized and more available, some people are going to do it. Some people are going to do it a lot. Some people are allergic to the smell, hate the smell. Yep. So similar lifestyles, along with that similar work schedule, I think works well. And I think we know that even with our partners. I think that's important. But I'm most specifically talking about roommates. Now here's another one, right? And let's talk about because I have it written down like women and men live together and stuff like. But because of the gender spectrum and things like that, I want to hit everybody. So two people that could establish a relationship where there is an attraction there, where it's man, woman, all that. Do you think they can live together?
Depending on what it is, because I think you have to just get a feel for your person.
Absolutely not. They can live together at 18, 19 years old. You are going to hook up, and it is going to be awkward.
That's
This
learn
isn't-
that lesson, man.
Sure.
Learn that
You
lesson.
know what? And that's a good point. That's a good point. But just know, and when people are in relationships and stuff like that, you always hear this, right? 4 guys live with 1 girl, 3 girls and 2 guys. That is the Survivor / real world show before those became on TV. It's a recipe for disaster. Feelings are gonna get hurt, emotions are going to go wild. If I could be, Dad Zach, which I'm not because I'm still in my early 30s, I would be very much against. And I lived with 2 women. That one of them was dating my good friend, and one of them was, and things. It just don't do it. Like I really enjoy my time with them. I enjoy. I'm not saying that, but things are going to happen, right? Especially at that age, things are going.
But things are going to happen regardless, whether it's with the people in there or they're going to find someone in a bar or just anything. It's going to happen.
You're going to develop feelings for one another. I mean, it's hard not to. When you live somebody in that space for a long time, just know that if you just decide to live in a multi-gender where attraction is available in that capacity, just know that is a recipe. That is a common recipe. That is a repeated recipe for disaster. Does it happen all the time? Absolutely not. Should you experience life at its fullest? Absolutely, you should. But are you going to get your heart broken? Maybe. Could you lose some friendships? Maybe. So if it's your first time living, maybe you don't want to deal with that emotional stress right then. If it's your first time being on a roommate, especially if you're here for an education, you're trying to further your goals, maybe we refrain from that the first time. And then once we kind of develop a good pattern, develop some good behavioral techniques and some good coping mechanisms, then we get into the weirdness. Then we divulge into that life. So that is my take on that. And then Jeff, you said this earlier. Communicate, right? Every good relationship, working relationship, romance, all those types of relationships that you have, friendships, whatever. I'm sure there's other relationships. I just can't think of any. Communication is key, absolutely. We've heard that before. Mm-hmm. Job board. This is what you do on this kind of day. Think outside the box. Think outside the box and be respectful. Which you've hit on that. So you live with somebody. Did you have a sanctuary? Could you get away from everybody? Was that your room, or did you have people going in there?
No, it was Marine Corps. It was just whatever's out there. There's nothing you can do. Same with the previous roommate. It was just one room, and we didn't do the tape on the bottom, but ultimately his side, my side, and then tried to keep it clean.
You did that in an apartment?
Yeah.
You did the tape thing?
No, we did not do the tape thing because I feel like that's a little hostile.
Sure.
I mean, maybe it doesn't have to be, but like, bust out the tape. This is my side. This is your side. A little aggressive.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't like that.
You didn't Russia, Ukraine him?
No.
Okay, good.
Thought about it, but no.
Wait, is Russia or is Ukraine?
Yes.
Excellent.
But it wasn't bad. I mean, he liked to stay up late. I didn't. And then there was always just people in our room, and it drove me crazy. I'm like, whatever.
Absolutely. No, and I totally agree with that. And I think it's an exciting time. You should want that freedom. You should be doing that stuff, especially if it's your first time. However, take a step back. Get out of that excitement zone. Get out of that a little bit. Maybe listen to somebody. Your parents might have an insight. Maybe an older brother. Maybe an older cousin. Listen
to the family. They know. Just listen to them. I know it doesn't seem like it, but they know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And just know who you're moving in with, right? Just know who you're moving in with. There's plenty of places to find safe roommates. Yep. There's actually websites that do that. Duquesne, I believe, has a program.
Oh, nice! I didn't know that.
The commuter, you can go to the commuter.
That's good.
And stuff like that.
Because you definitely got to just get a vibe for them. Yeah. Whether it's like it doesn't have to be a bad vibe, but like you can just tell, hey, if you're up at all hours of the night and I want to sleep, probably you two shouldn't room together, and that's fine.
Absolutely. So, figuring out a roommate, an important step.
Yep.
A crucial step.
Take it seriously.
It doesn't have to be a disaster. There's a lot of good stories out there, and and as much as havoc and horrible things I've done to the people I lived with. There were a lot of good times as well. I had a Jello wrestling party, University of Akron, right before I was about to join the Marine Corps. Yeah, it was nuts.
How did you still go?
What do you mean?
How did you still go to the Corps with Jello wrestling?
Yeah. Well, you get arrested a couple times. You know, it changes your trajectory a little bit.
Touche.
As for, and I do want to hit this one last thing before we move on, go to commercial break and finish up here. Just one reason, like living with somebody and making the wrong mistake can be horrible, right? I once lived with somebody, and she was the worst human being on the planet, right? So it's this person, then it goes right below her is the lead singer in Nickelback, and then Donald Trump, and then right below her is like Ronald Rumsfeld. Like she was horrible. I remember one night we got into this argument. It was so bad. Like we were in a relationship for a very short time. We broke up. She just wouldn't leave, and it was so obnoxious. And I came home one night from the bar. I wanted to listen to my music, so I was playing Say Anything. She took the Amazon Echo or whatever, and she took it into her room and closed it, slammed her door. So I, being the passive-aggressive person that I am, went into her closet room, is what we called it. I took what looked like her most expensive boots, and then I peed in them. I
don't know why I thought straight to urine for me. I'm like, there's some urine in it just because of the bar. And I'm glad I was right.
Yeah, about two and a half, like just a night's worth of urine inside those boots.
Nice.
And I think it was the left one, and I never told her, and I never will. And if she's listening now, which she's not, because what time is it? It's 8:50, so she's probably drunk at a bar. I hope you wear those boots every day. So no one lost. All right, guys. When we come back, we're going to close it up, talk about next week, and we'll go from there. Oh, transition. Oh, I keep doing the wrong buttons. Oh, there.
Here we go. Screw that lady.
Oh, she's horrible.
Yeah, I've yet to have one of those just because I mean, I just want to be left alone. And it's funny, like, I don't also want to get murdered in my sleep because I'm not a black belt in sleep Taekwondo.
She would have, oh my God, I couldn't get rid of her. Like, it was so bad.
And those are the ones that scare me. Like, the murder and the sleep, and then the ones that just won't go away.
Well, and she wouldn't pay for anything, too.
Oh, that was even worse.
That was the worst part.
And it's scary because then those are the people, like, they know when you're, like, around. They know when they can, like, it's just, like, because I still have stuff to do. But at the same time, I know I can't just watch to make sure you're not breaking stuff. Dude, screw that lady. We should have pissed them both in.
I didn't have enough in my hand. Whatever. I didn't have enough.
Just wipe your ass with one of the dresses or something. Just leave a cool skin mark.
So bad.
Because, like, those are the worst. Because, like, I don't think yours, like, was the worst. The fact that, like, they still talk to you means, like, you weren't the worst in the world. But, like, I don't think you would ever talk to that other girl. The one that you boots pee in. Like, you would never talk to her, even if she reached out to you, I'm guessing.
Oh, my God. She makes up phone. I'll tell you the whole plethora.
I don't think you're that bad, and that's.
I would never. I try not to engage. Like, she just followed me on Snapchat, but she keeps making things like, and it goes into it. And like, I'll post something and she'll write something to me, like something like "LOL, that's funny" or whatever. Like, my thing is don't engage. Like, in that kind of thing, like, don't engage.
Yep. I'm pretty sure you already told Jody.
Oh yeah, no, and like I'll show you. Like, listen, this is.
I don't know.
This is what she is.
I've had a few of those too. In fact, I just go right to the block button. I've yet to have the persistent one yet.
Yeah, no.
Because that's the scary one. The one that's persistent, and we'll make another one just to keep doing this.
Well, I know she just gets drunk and bored. I think. Like,
go somewhere, lady.
No, absolutely no.
I'm glad you don't engage, man.
And that's the worst thing you can do. The worst thing you can do is engage.
The moment you give any attention, it's gonna like increase by like 10%.
She did give me one time though. She got me one time. She sent me a Morgan Waller person. Like she sent me something like that. And like, it's a country singer who got in trouble for. I was like, why would you send? Like, he's incredibly racist. Why would you send me something like that? Like, don't do that. Like that was her. She was able to see what made me upset, and she knew she was going to. So I kind of fed into that. That was I shouldn't have done that. That was dumb. So,
I mean, I think they like know how to like get the attention if they really, 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 really want it.
And we are back. Listen to that.
Nice.
Wonderful transition.
Yeah.
That was quick and to the point. That was the Mischief Brew. If you were looking for that punk kind of anarchist kind of look out there. Good news. I did actually, before I got on the air, we do have possibly a member of a musician, a band, a rapper that may want to, we may pump his music. And that's one thing I really love to do. My time is bad and like I'm not doing a good job of prioritizing various aspects. But I'd love to get feature like local bands' music on here. So if you have a band or if anybody's like, or you're trying to promote something musically, put it on here. I will play it 100 times. We will say nothing but good things unless we don't like it, and then it'll get awkward. But for the most part, no. And there's a lot of musical talent at Duquesne. There's a lot of talent from my hometown. A ton of talent in my hometown. So yeah, absolutely. That is something I'd love to get into. It's just I can't even figure out Instagram right now and cutting up YouTube videos. So I do let a few things fall by the wayside in terms of that. So next week I'm going to tell you we're going to be on Instagram, but I don't think that's going to. I probably won't figure out.
Please, we'll figure it out.
At one point we will. Again, we're trying to get this ready, pumped up. I'm getting more, as I never want summer to end because it's been such an amazing summer. It's been so much fun. But on the other end, I'm kind of excited for school to start. I'm kind of that fall and summer in Pittsburgh has been amazing. That fall in Pittsburgh is going to be absolutely gorgeous, and I am totally ready for it. And that's really what this show is going. Is what we're going to the student body. So I like to think of these as warm-ups, right? We're just warming up and feeling what's good, what's not good,
Absolutely.
and getting all our good stories out of the way first, so we can bore young people. In a few months.
Of course.
So we got 8:55. What do we want to do? Do we want to? So over the weekend, I hope everybody had a good fireworks. I'm so glad that's a thing. That's definitely not annoying and obnoxious.
They're still going off.
Oh my God, so dumb. We get it. You like fire. You're really cool and different and such a BA. Definitely keep it up. So a young man from Akron got shot. He ran from the police. 100 shots fired, give or take. They released the body cam footage. I can't watch that stuff. That stuff is so depressing, and I should be able to. I mean, that's what's going on in my country. That's what's going on at home. So why do we like the police so much? I don't get what. This is so weird to me. 30, 40 years, like. Cops are goofy guys, right? Why do we put them on this pedestal? It is, first of all, there are so many myths and miscalculations. And all right, let me say it like this. I like the mantra of be kind to people, be ruthless to institutions. So when I say police, I'm not talking about your brother or your cousin or the third cousins, uncles, fathers, sons, roommate that is in there. I'm not talking about them specifically. I'm talking about the institution of the police. Throughout American history, which we love to talk about but not know about, the police have never been the good guys, right? The big key, the big sheriffs were getting the slaves, right? And that was really the incorporation of them, and then breaking up labor fights, and all these things have been this. And throughout popular culture, cops have always been like these goofy kind of, you were good at gym and that was it kind of thing and we just knew who they were. First of all, cops don't solve crimes. I hate to burst your bubble. Your things get stolen. Your family members get murdered. The cops aren't solving that. It's just not going to happen. They don't do preventative stuff. We require so little of them. They don't have to go through training. There's no accountability in the police. And every time anything like this happens, we can't have a conversation about accountability because for some reason police have now become this ideological divide that is insane to me. It is, I just don't understand it. And it drives me nuts. There are good people that are cops, absolutely, and there's probably a lot that have signed up and joined the force and want to help
intention of being good,
stuff like that. But the problem is we ask way too much of our police, right? What we do. Imagine this, right? You're a cop, and the hours are wrong, but we ask them to wear so many hats, right? Your shift starts at, let's say you have a 9 to 5 shift as a policeman, right? So the first thing, your first morning, maybe you're doing traffic. And then you have to, break up a domestic dispute. And then you have to, unruly kids and then things like that. You're asked to do so many things. It just seems like we're not providing them the proper support. We're not providing them the proper training. I'm a big fan of defund the police. Absolutely. And we hear that, and I'm sure some listeners are cringing as they are, and that's fine. What we need to do is we need to redistribute that budget to be more effective inside our communities. We should have social workers, and we should have drug specialists or substance abuse counselors.
Psychos.
Absolutely. We can do such a better job in our communities, but we can't have those conversations because anytime you say anything critical about the police, it gets into this, my daddy's mom's father's was a cop or whatever that conversation is. And it is crazy because it's switched. Cops always haven't been the good guys, right? Like the NWA, that was a milestone in pop culture, and now what we refer to as bootlicking the police. And again, that doesn't mean you can't show respect to the authority. I'm just saying that. That doesn't mean you can't be mindful of somebody's profession. But we do need a better conversation about that. We really, really do. And I'm out of time, and I didn't, I just want people to look. Ooh, what was that?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
People are.
Computer's dying.
Oh, people are people.
Yeah.
We can do better.
Absolutely.
It starts with conversation. It starts with learning. It starts with reading. So with that, I'm going to do my call off, my sign off, which is, what's my sign off? Be good.
Yeah.
Be good to each other. So This is Zach and Jeff. So do you have a cool sign off?
I don't, not yet. I got to think of one.
All right. So this is our
next
sign
week. I'll have one.
So Jeff's sign off is next week I'll have one. That should just be your sign off.
I'm going to keep it.
Be good to each other. So, and this last song is my favorite band who is canceling their tour once again because the lead singer is having issues. So Max Bemis, I don't think you're listening to this, but if you are, just know I support you, buddy. So, all right, guys. Next week. Not on Instagram.
Please be on Instagram. I think we just took our time to start working it out. Yeah, the cops don't do anything. Especially the ones that just suck up, the ones on the south side are working their 80th hour, right? Getting ridiculous overtime, just sucking funds.